Hello, 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 everyone. Good evening. Good evening. All right, Brat, number one. Good evening, PG. Much love. God bless. Summer Moon, Utah Wells, Miss Norway, to everyone in chat. Much love and prayers. God bless, girl. God bless. You number one. All right. And number two, Patty. You're number two. Hey, PG. And all prayers and love to everybody. God bless. I appreciate that. Speaking truth. APG mods and chat. Much love. Love and prayers. Purple hearts for everybody, including Summer. Including Summer. God bless. I appreciate that. Number three in here tonight, girl. And whoa, I hope I say this right. Uh, LaVey? Is that how you I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce your name, sorry. But you're number four. Number four. Evening, everyone. Good evening to you. God bless. God bless. PG don't know. I don't know what that name is. You're gonna have to come up on panel and tell me. Hey, our bucket list has holes. Good to see you, sweetie. Miss Justice. 111. Hey, PG, much love. Much love to you, girl. Karen, good to see you. Janet, there you are, girl. Australia, there you are, girlfriend. Good to see you tonight. Linda, Brat. Good to see everybody in here tonight. Our bucket list has holes. Good to see you, beautiful. Oh, that is so sweet, Brat. You guys are always so kind to one another. God bless you. God bless. Peaches, Shy. Hey, how's it going? Good to see everybody. There's Kimmy. How you doing, sweetie? Miss Justice, good to see you, beautiful. Oh, I didn't hit that one. I'm going backwards and forward, you guys. Sorry. You guys stick with me tonight. PG is tired. Hey, River Mom, how you doing, sweetie? I am super tired. I've been putting in a lot of hours. So bear with me. It seems like I've been up night and day for about about 3 or 4 days here. Brandy, how you doing, sweetie? Good to see you. I'm gonna have to slow down because I'm trying to go too fast. Welcome everyone. Please hit the thumbs up for Summer's channel. Let's keep her name and face out there. Amen. Absolutely, that's very important. Very important. I seen the mother of there's a YouTube video of the mother of that young, which is a young mother. She was at the vigil where Candus and Don Wells took off. Had the weird guy there. Anyway, she's got a video out. I seen it today, looking for her daughter, and the young girl's dad's on there, and the mother, is taking care of her daughter's baby while her daughter is missing, and it's really some really weird things going on in that case. Some really weird stuff is going on in that case. Anyway, I might cover that. I might cover that in the next few days, because believe it or not, it's kind of creepy. Kind of creepy, the things going on in this particular girl's case, and it's out of Tennessee as well. Ain't making no sense. But Patty says hi everyone. Prayers and much love. How you doing, girl? Yeah, it's just something I ran by today. Little my fragile little mind. Yes, BG, I'm here. All right, girl. I see you. Hey, Tiger Mama, how you doing, sweetie? How you doing? Good to see you guys in here. Oh, thank goodness I'm to the bottom. I'm to the bottom, you guys. Finally to the bottom here. Um, I wanted to come in tonight because, there's some interesting stuff. I'm sorry I haven't been able to get in. I haven't been in for a few days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I wasn't able to get in here, you guys. I've been busy, and a lot going on. But anyhow, um, you guys know how it is. You guys know how it is. PG, I can't, you know, I can't share. I can't share all the things going on in my background, but bear with me. Bear with me. Lord brings us to it. He's going to bring us through it, right? So that's how PG believes, and I hang on. I hang on with everything I have. So um, just bear with me. We'll get back to a regular schedule at some point. Um, hopefully we do. But anyhow, I wanted to come in tonight. I wanted to come in the last two nights because I've been pretty upset because Dom Wells, Candus and Dom Wells decided to have a vigil for summer, like now, right? Like now, instead of June 15th, 2021. They decided to do it like now. And like now would be basically when they was cutting her hair off and planning everything up to go down on June 15th. It's kind of, I think it's kind of morbid, if you ask me. I think it's kind of morbid to, I guess they thought it was funny to have the memorial when they were, I guess they felt that she was as good as unalived when they started planning it, right? That's what it sounds like. That's to my opinion, but that's what it sounds like. I'm doing okay, PG. Just getting prepared for a early doctor's appointment Friday morning. Thanks for asking. I hope everything is okay with you, PG. Hey, girl. Tiger Mom, you are a beautiful soul. You are a beautiful soul, honey. And I'm going to keep you in my prayers. Hopefully everything at that appointment goes well, 150% good, right? I'm going to be praying for you. But yeah, to definitely, they definitely are having this. Yes, why so early? I think it's just, I think they're just morbid. I think it's, they're sick, disgusting sense of humor, because this would be about the time they were shaving her head completely bald. And this would be, the time that they were planning. It might be, it sounds like it's right at the time that they figured out something was wrong they couldn't fix without going to prison. And they were, working it out, um, to fix it their way. And we know what their way is, right? We know what their way was. Down at the swimming hole. So it is what it is. But I'm gonna let you guys see it for yourself. Some of you probably haven't seen it, so I'm gonna let you see it tonight. Here's the pics. Candus decided to go out by summer swing and throw some lights in the ground, right? I'm going to go out here and I'm going to put, some janked up freaking lights, right? Some janked up freaking lights around the tree, close to my daughter's swing. and call it a memorial, right? This is where I'm going to go and call it a memorial. By this big old tree where her swing's at. This is what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do for my daughter, says Dawn and Candus. There you go. They put some lights, shoved some lights down in the dirt. Yeah. And called it a memorial. By this child's swing, you know, that she should have still been swinging on, right? She should have still been swinging. If they'd have been the right kind of parents, you know, not all screwed up and sick in the freaking head. And that's my opinion. I believe they're sick in the fucking head. Yes, I do. I'm not going to hold back on these people. I'm not going to hold back on them at all. You know, I don't give a fucking rat's ass for Dawn and Candus Wells. I really don't. That's just how I feel, and I will continue to feel this way. They done nothing for their daughter while she was here, and they done nothing for her, after she was gone. Nothing. They haven't ever, shown no remorse for how disgusting they are, how abusive they were, how neglectful they was, right down to Summer disappearing. They haven't ever showed, anything at all but some, like, these people are ate up with demons, right? They're ate up with demons. That's all I can say. They got demons bigger than horses up in that ass. But this is disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. It's sick.
This is Summer's swing. Candus put these lights here to memorialize her daughter's disappearance. I hope y'all love it. We miss our children. We love you guys. Thank you, and God bless.
Did you hear how he said that? Take a listen again.
This is Summer's swing.
This is Summer's swing. This is Summer's swing right here. This is Summer's swing. Really? Really, Don Wells? The best you could do? This is Summer's swing?
Candus.
He's saying it like he don't even want to be there. Like he doesn't even want to be there.
This is Summer's swing.
This is Summer's swing. Right? For real? For real?
Candus put these lights here.
Candus put the lights here.
To memorialize her daughter's disappearance.
To memorialize. To memorialize. Wow.
I hope y'all love it. We miss our children. We love you guys. Thank you, and God bless.
We miss our children. Thank you. God bless. Like, don't hurt yourself, Don Wells. Don't hurt yourself trying to, make up a video on behalf of your daughter, your missing daughter. You don't have to you don't have to memorialize anything to make a video of your daughter. You could have been making videos about your daughter for the last damn near 4 years. Damn near 4 years, Don Wells. June 15, 2021 will be 4 years, in case you don't know it. You didn't know her age, so I'm figuring you probably don't know June 15, 2025 is going to be 4 years. But I would like to enlighten you that, You could have been making videos over the last 4 years, just keeping your daughter out there. You could have been making videos, talking about her and sharing, all the beautiful things. But you don't know about any of the beautiful things, do you? Because you guys were so busy being abusive and neglectful and shitty to these children, including Summer, and a lot of other things, a lot of other bad things that you really don't have a whole lot of nothing to say because you really don't know any of your children. You were too busy using and abusing them to really know what they liked, didn't like, who they really was, who they wasn't. You don't know a damn thing about your children because you was just too busy thinking about your damn self and what you want in your self gain. Right, Don Wells? Absolutely. That's the truth. That's the truth. You might not want to face it, Don Wells, but you know what? I'll face it for you. I'll face it for you, okay? Because you're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. And you couldn't ever. People asked you at the beginning when Summer went missing, tell us about Summer, Don. Tell us about Summer. Oh, she wanted to hold my hand and twirl and twirl and twirl until my arm was so tired. She just wanted to twirl, and that's all you had to say. That was like your main go-to. We heard it 1,000 times because that's all the fuck you could say. And I think you got the twirling from the video, which was scripted because Summer was stopping and watching to see what she's supposed to do next. What the hell was going on in that video with the for sale barrel, Don Wells? Because we could clearly see Summer being instructed to twirl and to run this way and to run that way. Let's get the front of her, the sides of her, the back of her, right? Let's get total view of this little girl all the way around. What the hell was that video about? What was it about? Why was it taken? And then right after it's taken, Summer looks sedated and passed out. That's my opinion. She looks sedated and passed out. And you're packing her out of the house along with that ugly Candus and going somewhere. Right? You're leaving. And Candus being fat and ugly is, in my opinion, is the fucking truth. It's just the truth. And you guys left with her. And you don't ever want to talk about or tell nobody where your asses went with that baby, sedated up or passed out the way she was on the day that video was taken. And Dudley was up there witnessing everything. You didn't ever want to talk about that. Why don't you come out and make a video and talk about that, Don Wells? Why don't you go over to your boyfriend's channel over there, which I think that dude's a freaking female anyway, right? I think it's a female anyway. Old white boy. He should name himself White Girl because he tried to show me his downstairs and I couldn't see shit. I didn't see nothing. Right? I didn't see anything down there. So obviously, that male is a female. And just saying. But why don't you go over there to his channel and why don't you explain and tell where you was taking Summer that particular day after the for sale barrel video? Why don't you do that? Because that's the shit we're interested in hearing, Don Wells. Not about you guys putting some dollar store lights stick them down in the fucking mud in your dirty, nasty yard around Summer Swing and call it memorializing. To remind everybody, once again, like you have from the beginning of this, that Summer is not alive. If I was law enforcement in Tennessee, I would have done arrested your asses. I'd have done arrested your asses. That's what I would have done. You bet your ass on that one. I would have already arrested them. Hey, O'Sullivan, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Super sticker. All right. I appreciate that, girl. God bless. I appreciate you supporting Summer's channel. And Tiger Mom, member for 5 months. All right. I appreciate that. Summer Moon, Utah Wells. Amen. God bless. God bless you guys for supporting this channel. Absolutely. Anyway, yeah. These people are, I don't know what to say about them. I don't know what to, I don't know what to say about them. Yeah, full of garbage. Absolutely, and dog shit. Why doesn't he go? Why doesn't he go over to White Boys and explain what they was doing with Summer on the day that video was taken? Why don't they go and explain that? Because right after that, it seems to be when they're cutting her hair all off and and planning out June the 15th, 2021, when she, completely disappeared. They cut her hair off. They made all the plans. Don started driving a different vehicle the day before, fires his coworker to blame it on. They went looking for Jackie Dobbs, right? That night. They was looking for Jackie Dobbs for some unknown reason that they still can't explain, right? They can't explain why they're out looking for a man that had a deed up there. They can't explain why they had this man ran off from his own property. They can't explain a damn thing. Hey, Seeking Truth, I appreciate that super sticker. God bless. God bless. But yeah, they can't explain it. Absolutely not. Yeah, it's a freaking shame. Absolute shame. Absolutely, Brett. I so appreciate that. Don Wells avoids this channel. He avoids this channel like the plague because he knows that if he came here, he's going to have to answer. He's going to have to explain why. He's going to have to explain why they took that video with the for sale barrel. He's going to have to answer, where did they take Summer that day, all passed out in his arms? Where was they carrying her off to? Leaving the boys there. The boys were awake. I mean, Candus, was a permanent fixture up there, right? Grandma was a permanent fixture on 110. And if Summer was asleep, they could have left her inside the house with Candus, to babysit and took the boys wherever they was going because the boys were awake. I mean, that's common sense, right? Common sense. I mean, if one of my kids, if when my kids were little, if one of my kids was asleep, right, they was sleeping, and say that we was going somewhere, me and my husband was running to the grocery store real fast or something, and my sister was there or somebody was there, a family member or my aunt or someone, was at the house, then they would watch the one sleeping. They would stay there with the one sleeping, and I would take the ones that are awake with me to the store, right? Why am I going to pack the one that's asleep with me and leave all the ones awake? That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. Right? No, it doesn't. And that's another thing. We have to remember that, Jose was there, And the whole fight when Jose was there wasn't because Jose was there. Don done came back. He done came back from Utah, right? And he came back from Utah because his dad told him, Don went up there and told his dad that, he's bringing Grandis and Candus and all of them up there and going to take over daddy's house. And, Mary and her brothers and some of the other kids came in and said, oh, hell no, you're not, Donald. You're not coming up here bringing that grandma and a brood of people up here. And, I'm taking over your dad's place like you went down there and took over your mother's. You're not going to do that. And, and Don tried to fight his own dad. And his dad said, you get the hell out of here. You're not welcomed here. You don't come here and try to fight me and move in on me. And, try to overpower me just because I'm old. And, Don got his ass sent back to Utah. That's why he went back to Utah. Because he's about to get himself whooped up by Mary's brother and them if he didn't leave. So he went back to Utah. He didn't care about Jose being there. When he got home, Jose was there. Jose had been there like, a week or so or more when the police got called. Jose was fine being there. Jose was staying there, getting up, going to work. He was getting along fine with Don, Candus, with all of them, right? He was staying in that house. Even after Don got back, he's staying in the house. Everything's going fine. It's when Jose seen Don in the shower with Summer and something wasn't right? Jose seen some shit that, some shit he didn't agree with, some shit he didn't go along with. And he told Candus, here is Summer's tail. You get her out or I'm going to get her out. And that's where the big fight started, right? That's where the big old fight started, was because of Summer being in the shower with Don Wells. There you go. And we all heard Summer on that video screaming, help, help. And she screamed for mommy. She screamed for mommy. Why? Because she trusted that bitch. She trusted that bitch to protect her, to help her and protect her. But that bitch didn't help and protect her. And Summer realized after screaming for her a couple of times that she was a broken stick. So then Summer starts screaming, anybody, somebody, help me. Now she's screaming for the lady on the phone or someone somewhere to hear her plead and her call for help. But no one helped her, right? No one helped her. When the police got there, Don Wells done exactly what he done to us for and still doing for all the time Summer's been missing. He takes the conversation and he alludes it off into another direction, right? He alludes it off into another direction. That's what he did to law enforcement. Don Wells is very good at, leading things off in another direction. Like when Summer went missing, Don Wells wanted to talk about Utah and his sisters. He didn't want to talk about his daughter because his daughter's the one thing that could get him put in prison. He would rather talk about what he knew wouldn't get him put in prison, that he knew the statute already ran out on, right? That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to talk about everything except his daughter, everything except Summer. That's what Don Wells wanted to talk about. And that's what he did when law enforcement got up there. He wanted to talk about that gun that's supposed to have been in his truck. He wanted to talk about anything except his daughter being in that shower with him, because if she, if that conversation came up, if that would have come up, they would have took Summer to be checked and Don Wells would have been in prison probably for a long damn time, if you ask me. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. If Jose would have told law enforcement, what that fight was truly about, what it was really about, I believe that, they would have took Summer, they'd have had Summer taken to a hospital and met up with Child Protective Services. They would have done some testing, and I believe Don Wells would have been in prison for a long time. I mean, Candus got a whole vehicle out of that, remember? Remember, she took a bribe of a brand new vehicle to keep her dirty, filthy, disgusting fucking mouth shut, right? Don't, don't go to court. Don't tell them, don't tell them that what happened and what's been going on in that house, about Summer showering with me and stuff. I'll get you a brand new car. So she goes and, instead of protecting her daughter, getting the hell away from that trashy ass piece of crap, that sick bastard, right? No, Candus don't get away from him because see, she's known about this always. She's always knew about it anyhow. And she doesn't go, and save her daughter. She threatens up and gets a new vehicle. And then, and Jose, they run Jose off, and it goes back to what it always was. It goes back to Don doing whatever he wants to, using and abusing little Summer. And that is my opinion. That is my opinion. Just the way it is. I don't think Jose, I think Jose got caught up in the moment of everything. I think Jose got caught up with, the law and everything being there. And I don't think Jose thought, he thought to, stop everything. And plus Jose, I think Jose kept his mouth shut too because he wouldn't have had a place to stay. He had no idea they were going to, they was going to be throwing him out real soon. He had no idea Grandis was going to be running him off. You heard what Don Wells said. Don said, I'm very thankful to Candace's mother for running Jose out of here. Yeah. So that Don Wells could continue to be a sick bastard. But then again, Candus is a sick bastard, and so is Grandma, right? They're up there bringing little children upon their property and grooming these little children and doing bad things to these little children. Hell, Candus is bragging about taking teenage boys' virginity away from them, right? From our understanding, from what people have been saying. So, this is some sick people up there. These are very sick human beings that we're talking about right now.
Spirit, fun, loving, forgiving. I remember one time I took her to a job site, and it was actually a really nice log cabin home. And I wasn't thinking about the railing not being completely finished outside, and she run outside. My wife brought lunch out there and stuff like that, and we was eating, and she run outside, and she turned around, and there wasn't no railing there to catch her. And so she fell off about the third or fourth step and hit the ground. She was crying. She says, "Daddy, why didn't you save me?" I said, "I'm sorry, Summer. I'm sorry. I didn't know." And she says, "That's okay, Daddy."
Do you know why Don Wells told this story? Do you know why he told this story? I'll tell you why Don Wells told this story. Don Wells told this story because he wanted to ease his conscience. He needed to feel like Summer has forgiven him for having to do what went down on, June 15th, 2021. That, she's forgiven him for having to destroy her to save his own fucking ass, if you ask me. That is my opinion, right? That is my opinion. Put a 1 in the chat if that's your opinion too. Put a 1 in the chat if you feel that this little girl was destroyed because Don Wells didn't want to go to prison, right? She was destroyed because he wanted to save his own fucking ass. And he told this story because he wants to feel that Summer is so forgiving and is going to forgive him for, being a selfish son of a bitch that he is, right? Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. That's the whole point in his shitty video. Right, Don Wells? I'm sure somebody has contacted you and your freaking ugly mug old lady, right? Your saggy ass and her ugly fucking mug. I'm sure someone's done contacted you and let you know PG's out here talking about you. You bet your damn ass I am. You bet your damn ass I am. You want to have your memorialization, whatever the fuck you're calling it. And you want to have it right at the time you're cutting this little girl bald headed. You are some sadistic motherfuckers. You just can't stop abusing your children, can you, Don Wells? You can't stop abusing them. You're so used to abusing them, you're still abusing them, right? In every way you can, every chance you get. How disgusting is that?
That's what kind of spirit she is.
Yeah, that's what kind of spirit she is, Don Wells. That's what kind of spirit she is. And you're a fucking demon. And that's my opinion. That's my opinion. That's how my spirit feels. Is you're a big demon.
I wish these people would come.
Instinct.
Yeah, I wish they would all come together.
I mean,
yeah.
But those footprints of Summers,
Yes.
that needs to be explained.
Okay, let me explain it to you the best that I can. I talked to TBI about that. Okay, so if you come out Ben Hill Road, okay, let me start with the scent dog. They smelled her clothes. We watched. Well,
they didn't smell her clothes. They didn't smell her clothes. Don Wells, they didn't smell her clothes. Oh, we went through the dirty laundry and got the cleanest dirty fucking pair of shorts or sock out of it that we could. Oh, we don't sure who had it on their foot, but we gave it to them when we had the jacket and we had her top and we had her sundress and we had her bathing suit and we had every mother freaking thing she was wearing that day except the pants. We had everything but the pants, but we didn't give none of that. None of that to the search dogs. Right, Don Wells? No, you didn't give any of that to the search dogs. And you fucked the search dogs up the first time with your own dogs and thought that was so funny and delayed everything so it would get darker. Because getting dark is what you guys counted on, right, Don Wells? That's what you counted on.
me and Candus sit here and watched the whole thing happen. So they took some of her fresh clothes out of the dirty laundry. The dog smelled it. They took him to the basement door. The dog went straight down the dog trail to Ben Hill Road down there. And the dog circled when it got down there and lost the scent. To me, meaning that she was thrown in a car and drove out of here. Okay. So the footprints, okay, if you go out on Ben Hill Road and you go west, so you go past our property all the way to the end, and you get down a little ways west up this way. There's a dirt road. I can't remember the name of the road, but you turn left into that, and you'll see a bunch of no trespassing signs and all that. You follow the dirt road, and it takes you all the way up on top of that hill up there, which overlooks our property. When you're up there, you can look down on our property and see our house. You're looking down on our house, and we live on a hill, so it's pretty high hill. So there's an unfinished cabin up there. This is the way TBI explained it to me. There's an unfinished cabin up there, and it rained like 2 or 3 days before Summer come up missing. So they found a footprint around an unfinished cabin, and I went up there and I looked everywhere, and I don't know what they're talking about, an unfinished cabin. I found a trailer. I found 2 trailers, and the other property I was kind of scared to go up around, but I looked everywhere, and I asked them if I could see the casting, but they wouldn't never let me see the cast that they made. But so they found a set of footprints there. Okay, the dog here.
He's lying. Don Wells, you are a damn liar. You lied. They found one footprint over there in back of old Miss Goat's house. Over, it was between her property and I believe John's property, the guy that lived across from her. That's where they found the first footprint. And the funny thing is, Jody Sue was out there running around right where they found that footprint too before they found it. And this other footprint they found was on down at the corner. It was where they usually parked a trailer, but that's where they found the second footprint. They did not find no footprint way up on no fucking hill overlooking your property. You're a damn liar. You're a damn liar. That's bullshit.
That footprint there. Okay, and then if you come back down out of the hill and you come back down towards Beach Creek, they found footprints there. And that's the only two sets of footprints that I'm aware of that they told me about.
And there'd be no reason for Summer to have.
She would never leave from around the house.
So the
Unless
fact
somebody
that the dog went right down. See, I work with a tracking dog.
Right.
And I mean, there's no mistaking when they pick up a scent.
Exactly.
They don't. There's no mistaking it. So that
exactly
needs to be explained.
And not only that, they brought the prison dogs out here, a bunch of them, and they went all over the place and everything like that, and they never could pick up her scent. And then after that, they brought a bloodhound up here, and they never could pick up her scent anywhere or anything. So that tells me right there.
That means,
she was thrown into a car and taken away from here.
And that's bullshit. That's bullshit, Don Wells. She didn't ever get out of the car. She didn't ever get out of the car that she was laying on the milk jugs in, right? She didn't ever get out of Grandma's car. Period. Shut up. Just shut up. And God only knows whose clothes you gave for the dogs to search. And Candus told Chris that thing you call a dog trail, the path you call a dog trail. She told Chris, I don't know about a dog trail, but that over there, that's where the boys ride their dirt bikes down to the road. They'll ride their bikes down to the road and then come back up the driveway, she said. So, that probably the shorts or the sock or whatever you gave the dogs to search probably belonged to one of your boys who was riding the dirt bikes and running down through there. Matter of fact, the night before, all of those kids was down at the bottom of the out on Ben Hill Road down there, along with you and Candus, Grandis, Andy, Bernard, Jody Sue, and their kids. You all were down there, mother freaking hanging out, talking a bunch of shit about Mr. Dobbs. And then after it got dark, y'all went out looking for freaking Mr. Dobbs. So shut up. Shut up. People out here are not that stupid, Don Wells. People out here, Hawkins County law enforcement, and they might be that dumb. I don't know. They could be. But we, the people out here, we're not that fucking dumb.
I already knew, and I already knew that she was put into a car and taken from here.
Yeah.
I knew that from day one. I knew that from the second that it happened, but trying to explain that to the police is like trying to talk to a brick wall.
I remember you told me that you had the weird feeling. You want to explain to like the people listening about that weird feeling you had beforehand?
It's not a weird feeling. It's when the angel tells you that something is going to happen to your kid or your daughter, which is what happened to me, and I couldn't explain it, and I didn't understand at the time. But I knew 4 to 5 months prior that something was going to happen this summer because an angel told me, and not with words. But you can take it for what you want. You can say that if you want to, y'all can just say that I'm crazy, or you can all can say that I'm just making up a story.
No, I don't
You
think
can
you're crazy at
no,
all.
not you, Dolly. I'm just saying you're.
We say you're full of shit. That's what we say, Don Wells. I wish my goody good wasn't biting back, but that's exactly bullshit. Yeah, yeah. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. I'm gonna tell you something. This dude right here is a demon. This dude's a demon. And they ain't nothing talking to him. They ain't nothing talking to him except his fucking self, right? They ain't nothing talking to Dom Wells but Dom Wells' self. That's it. He's telling you, he's trying to put it back 4 or 5 months, but watch, he's going to put it up to 18 days before she went missing. Watch him put it up to 18 days before, right when he's cutting off her hair. Right when they're cutting off her hair and they're making all the dirty plans, and for June the 15th, 2021, as they're plotting and planning it all out, he's going to put it at that mark. Watch this.
Audience can say whatever they want about me. I didn't know it. But not you, sir. But 4 to 5 months prior, something told me that something was going to be happening this summer. And I knew something was going to happen. And I asked Candus to please keep a sharp eye on her because something was going to happen. And then that picture that y'all might see on the internet or whatever, where I was holding her when she was sleeping. And I knew something told me at that moment that the time was short at hand, that something, whatever was going to happen, it was going to happen soon. And this is probably a week or two prior to her disappearance. And I was crying, and I knew that, and I said, Lord God, please. She was asleep in my arms, and I was like, Summer, I love you. I love you so much. And I just can't believe it. But I knew the time was short. So the day that she disappeared, and then when I come home from work and I drove to the bottom property and I see my neighbors and my boys searching for her, I knew at that instance that what was told to me.
What'd you say, Don Wells? What did you say? Right here's the truth, you guys. Right here, let's go back. Let's listen to this little bit, because this is where the truth comes in, Don Wells. See, you're a dumbass, and this is the problem with people like you. You slip the fuck up. You slip up because your fucking brain cannot keep up with your mouth. That's the problem. But here's where you fucked up, dude.
And I see my neighbors and my boys searching for her. I knew at that instance that what had been
what was tended, right? That's where he fucked up. He started to say what was intended, what he planned out, what they carried out, what was intended, what they had already put together to do. But he caught himself. He knows he fucked up. He knows he slipped up there, right? Right there. He fucked up. Right there. It wasn't no angel. It wasn't no dream. It was their fucking plan and plot against a 5-year-old little girl to destroy her to save their own fucking asses, right? Yeah, that's my opinion. And I bet you 10 to 1 I'm right.
Boys searching for her. I knew at that instance that what was told to me by an angel that
what was intended, the fucking right word, Don Wells. That's the right word. Psh, you're a lame brain mother freaker.
I assume was an angel told me that it had been fulfilled. And I could not explain that to the police or anybody else, but I knew that she was gone.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. It's the only words for it, right? Wow. How can you destroy your own child? How the hell could you destroy your own child? How could anyone? I mean, you got to be. How could you destroy any child? How could a person destroy any child on the face of this earth at all? How can you destroy another human being? How can you? What gives you the right to go around destroying other people? What gives you that right? There's a special place in hell waiting on people who go around destroying other people, right? Whether it's a child, a teenager, young adult, middle age, old person, there's a special place in hell for people to sit there and plot and use, abuse, plot, and destroy other human beings. You have no right. You have a demon in you that's going to flee your ass while your soul ends up in hell for eternity when it's all said and done. Trust and believe that. And when you hit hell, you think you were evil, you think you got off on being evil, you better, I tell you now, you're going to meet those demons in hell that was once housing you while they're not housing you anymore. But they're in hell and they're going to put all that evil on you now. All that evil they had you doing while they housed you, they are going to be doing to you when you hit hell. And they're going to be doing it for eternity. So get ready. Get ready. Because I tell you what, you had an opportunity to be with God. You had an opportunity to find God Almighty through his son, Jesus Christ. You had an opportunity to be a good person, and you threw that out the window to be the evil bastard that you are. Don't blame the demon, blame yourself, because that's the one you decided and you chose to freaking feed and house all those years, right? That was your choice.
I want to keep doing me so I can do my boys. And yeah, Summer will always be here with me.
Wow. 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 You're going to do you. You put yourself first, bitch. You didn't even put your boys first. You put your fucking ugly mug first before your children. I'm going to do me so I can do my boys. Right? I'm going to tell you what, you sad sack bitch. I'm going to freaking do for my children. I'm going to do one. I'm going to do for God first, because that's who I fear and that's who made me. And I wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't have anything if it wasn't for God. I wouldn't even be on this earth if it wasn't for God. So I'm going to put God first, Candus. And I'm going to stick his son, Jesus Christ, second, Candus. And I'm going to put the Holy Spirit third, Candus, because through Jesus, that's how I get to heaven. And through the Holy Spirit, well, that's what's upon me and within me and keeps me on the righteous path every day, Candus. And you know something? And then I got the angels watching over me, Candus. But you know what? I'm going to put my mommy and my daddy and I'm going to put my kids before myself. I'm not going to be doing me, Candus, because I don't have time to be doing me, because I'm too busy doing what God wants me to do, and that's live for other people, because that's what we're supposed to be doing. But you, bitch, don't know how to do that, do you? And that's why your little girl's missing and your other children are gone, right? That's why you're just a piece of shit laying around stinking the fucking house up with Dom Wells. That's it. Right there. You two deserve each other. You and Dom Wells deserve each other, because one of you are just as fucking evil as the other. You both are housing freaking demons, and you love those demons. You love to fucking grin and laugh and you think you're shitting and getting it, but you ain't getting nothing. You ain't getting nothing but a fucking funkier smell and an uglier face every fucking day. You guys are a waste of fucking skin and bones. That's what you are in this life. Disgusting. You damn disgust me. That's what you do. You damn disgust me.
No matter what anybody says.
And I don't like saying this, and I don't want to say this at all, but I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys because they're still here and still living and still in foster care, and and I don't like saying this, and I don't want to say this at all, but I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys because they're still here and still living and still in foster care, and and I don't like saying this, and I don't want to say this at all, but I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
You got to worry about the boys. You got to worry about your boys when you know where they are. You know that they're with people taking care of them, better care than you ever did. Getting 3 meals a day, clean beds, clean clothes. They're finally getting a real life, and they're thriving great with the foster parents. Other than the guilt and shit that you and Dom Wells put on them, all the abuse and neglect you put on them. I mean, they're dealing with all of that, but they're still here, and we know where they are. But you're not, instead of focusing on the one child that needs you to focus on it, the one child that needs your help to be found, the one child that you should be focused on the most, you're worried about something else. You are a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit, Candus. A real piece of shit. But we're going to hear you say it again.
Because they're still here and still living and still...
They're still here and they're still living. They're still here and they're still living. The boys are still here and they're living. That tells us Summer ain't, and you know it. And you know it, Candus. And I don't know why law enforcement didn't arrest your ass on that technicality alone. Right there. I don't know why they didn't arrest your ass. Get your face out of my face because I can't stand to look at your face. You disgust me. Summer, always be with you. Always be with you. Well, is Andy Bernard right, Candus? Is that where Summer's at? Do you feel that you can stand on your heel and look straight over to Morrison Cemetery and see where you guys had your daughter and think she ain't ever going to be found? Because I'm going to tell you guys something. Right now, people are in the process of trying to get this the grave exhumed. They're trying to get the person that was buried exhumed to see if Summer's down in there. And so, you might not be so lucky, Candus. You might want to keep an eye over there to see if law enforcement ain't over there exhuming someone to find your daughter. And if they do, well, the next place they'll be is up on that hill, right? Arresting your ass. That's what they'll be doing. You better hope that don't happen. But I hear it's in the works. It's in the works right now of getting that done. And nice weather. Nice weather's coming. So you might see them over there exhuming Timothy, right? Is his name Timothy? Is that who it is? I think it is. I think his name's Timothy Morrison. Passed away before Summer went missing on the 11th. She went missing the 15th, but his grave wasn't dug and he wasn't buried until like the 18th. Right, Candus? And that's the grave they're talking about over there. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So possibility is going to get exhumed. And the family's already agreed. They've already agreed to let it be exhumed to make sure that child isn't down in there. They've been talked with. So there you go. There you go. Can. I'd be a little worried if I was you. I think I'd be a little worried. Maybe you want to think about doing you. Right? You might want to be doing you like right now. Like doing you out of fucking town before law enforcement comes in and starts checking that. Right? That's all I have to say. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah. I hear that it's a very good possibility they will be over there exhuming this particular person to see if Summer isn't there. Because Andy Bernard has been, talking about it. I guess other tips have been coming in. It's a very good possibility that that's going to happen. Absolutely. But also Don Wells has been talking about a cabin, and there's supposedly a cabin, actually a couple of them, but there's supposedly a cabin not too far. It's on like an isolated area, and I think law enforcement might be going there to check in at that area as well. So anyway, I think there's going to be a lot of checking going on real soon where Summer's case is concerned. Absolutely. They got some tips coming through. And some people, people's talking that wasn't talking before. There's a lot of people talking. And, a lot of people know a lot about this case. This is an isolated case. Too many people's involved. Too many people was involved in everything. And you got a lot of people growing conscience. They're starting to get a conscience, and they're wanting to, they're starting to think about their soul. That's what they're doing. They're starting to think about their soul, instead of their back and their bellies. They're trying to think about, their soul now. And a lot of people are running to the Lord, and a lot of people are growing a conscience. And, they're starting to speak up. They're starting to call in. They're starting to tell some things that wasn't told before. And, some leads are going to get followed. Some leads are going to start being followed. Not to mention there's other people out there with boots on the ground as well. Going to check up on, everything law enforcement won't anyhow. So, it's moving. It's moving. Hopefully by June the 15th, something, really moves in an area that's going to help Summer's case. We just have to, keep praying, keep waiting. But these are all the things I'm hearing. I'm doing as much as I can in the background of all of this for Summer. When I'm not in here with you guys, I am working on other things in other areas. I'm trying to, I'm making my rounds, you guys. I'm making my rounds, trying to figure out everything I possibly can upon Summer's case. So, and there's a lot going on right now. A lot going on. So lots being kept quiet. There's a lot that, a lot that can be said, but there's a whole lot that can't. So just bear with us, and hopefully, there's going to be a break. There's going to be something coming that, is going to possibly find Summer and where she's at. That's the thing right now. Nobody's worried about, the first half of Summer's case, because I'm pretty sure law enforcement already, has the first part down pat, just like we do. And it's the second half of where is Summer in order to prosecute. That's the part they're diligently working on right now. And I believe that particular grave is possibly going to get looked into real soon. So we'll wait and see. They have to follow every lead. They have to. Whether they like it or they don't, they got to. And someone has given them this lead. So they've got to look into it. So Candus needs to be out there with her binoculars, right? She needs to be out there with her binoculars, keeping an eye over there in that cemetery, if indeed that's where Summer's at, because her ass probably going to be going to prison when they get over there looking into it. I've had 3 dreams this summer. They were so real. I swear she was trying to tell me something. I'm going to tell you the truth. I truly believe that Summer is trying to tell people. I really do. I think, she is trying to tell people something. There's more than one person having these dreams, different dreams, where stuff's going on. I think this child wants the truth told, and I think she wants it told because she wants her brothers. Not only, did she want to save her brothers and keep them safe the way she did, but I think she wants them to live a normal life in the future. And that's why I think people are having these dreams and so forth. It's because, Summer's wanting to be found so her brothers could be free. They could be free of the burdens that they're carrying right now because of her disappearance. So, I can't rule none of that out, I mean, I do believe that, and people having dreams, of people telling them things, that lead to, that actually lead to whatever, like sometimes, people say I'm having dreams of this certain place. I keep seeing, and then they go look in this certain place, right? And they find something, and then they know what the dream meant, right? It was someone wanting them to find something that they had put away. They did, and the person hadn't known about, so forth and so on. So I do believe in that dream stuff. Absolutely. Because if you remember right, when Lazarus was in the arms of the angel and the rich man was in hell, the rich man asked if he could go back and warn his brothers. And he was told no. He was told no because his brothers were as bad and as evil as him, and they were going to pay the price. They were going to pay the price just like he did. So, what I'm saying is he asked if he could. So I think good people can. I think good people can go back. I mean, Summer was an innocent little child. And I think that innocent people, good people, are able to come to their loved ones in dreams and warn them or tell something, right? I truly believe that. But you have to be a good person. You can't be evil. And they don't see when they dig out a grave, that grave is all messed up down in there. If you go down in that grave and you move some of that dirt and then put dirt back on top of it, they're not going to know whether somebody's in there or not because that dirt's all messed up anyhow. What they're worried about is, using that crane to drop that big heavy, vault in there, and so the coffin can get in. They're not even thinking about checking to see if something else has been buried down there. They're just trying to get their job done so they can, so they can get the person that's needing to be put away. They're not thinking about that stuff. She very well could be there. She very well could. I mean, and that's why they're so sure that she won't ever be found. That would definitely explain why Don Wells thinks she won't ever be found. Who would ever think that, they're going to exhume a grave and look underneath it for a child? Who would ever think that? I mean, perfect place, right? Perfect place. But, thanks to Andy Bernard, thanks to Andy, and, bringing attention all over there, maybe Andy wants her found. Maybe maybe it'll ease his conscience for her to be found and laid to rest properly. Maybe then he can rest. I don't know. I don't know why he decided to, say these things, but it's got to be looked into because he is saying it. The real Gemini. I seen the pictures that you sent me. I seen those pictures that you sent me. Yes, I did see them. Amen. Amen. That's what we're praying for, Ruby. That's what we're praying for. I think a lot of people came forward in their own ways to try to help this child to be found where she's at. We just have to listen. We have to listen, and we got to get law enforcement to listen and get them over there doing what needs to be done for this child. That's what we got to do. But anyway, if you guys, I did bring a story tonight for you guys. I was going to bring it Saturday, if I came in Sunday, but I didn't make it in this weekend. But I did bring it tonight. If you want to hear it, please put a 1 in the chat. When they dug, they put the bottom of the vault in at the same time. That's why Wayne and Pam had said there's no way anything can be under it. They were asked about this right after it all started. I didn't hear that. I don't know where did you hear that, Chillbilly? Where did you hear that? Because that ain't what I heard. That ain't what I heard. That isn't what I heard at all. Where did you hear it? Because I heard they didn't put nothing down in there till the next day when they was getting ready to put him down. Who did you talk to? Who did you talk to? We know Pam and Linda. Wayne lives out of town. Is that relation to Timothy? Is that relation to Timothy Morrison? The guy that got put down over there? Chillbilly? Just curious. Brother and sisters of Timothy. Well, that's not what I was hearing. I heard that that Timothy's family agreed to allow agreed to allow him to be exhumed to see if Summer was in there. Linda the fake fed. They was digging his grave while he was searching. We all thought the same thing. What does that mean? What do you mean they was digging his grave while we was searching? We all thought the same thing. Well, they was digging his grave while we was searching. Chillbilly, you wasn't searching back then. You wasn't searching within the first few days of Summer going missing. You wasn't nowhere in the mix of this at the beginning. You wasn't nowhere in the mix of this when that grave was being dug. I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. You didn't even come into this. You didn't even come into this till about maybe, you've only been in this like maybe a year or two. You didn't even come into this until like the damn near the third year of Summer missing. You didn't even come into this. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys know that Chillbilly did not even come into this until like the damn near the third year that Summer was missing. He wasn't searching at all at the time this grave was dug. So why are you saying these things? Because I know for a fact that the source I'm talking about actually talked with this family, and they was willing to let this gravesite be exhumed. Oh yeah, and even Ryan said that he had talked with the family and they was willing to let this grave be exhumed to see if Summer was in it. Put a 2 in the chat if you remember that. If you remember Ryan talking about this family and they was willing to let this grave be exhumed in order to check for Summer, put a 2 in the chat, because Ryan even talked with them. Yes, Ryan even talked with them, and because they don't know if Summer's there or not. So what are you talking about, Chillbilly? Because you didn't even come into this until you started banging jinkies, right? You don't live right there. I've seen your place, Chillbilly. You don't live right there. You don't live right there. No, you don't. No, you wasn't in it from the start. Absolutely not. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. You was not. That is not true. That is not true. You didn't even show up. You didn't even show up in the mix of any of this till you started banging on jinkies and selling your t-shirts. What the fuck you talking about? What the fuck you talking about? Right? Oh, hell no. You wasn't nowhere in the mix. I'm going to tell you who was in the mix was freaking Ernie. Ernie Shell. Ernie Shell was the one up there on Ben Hill Road searching and getting all up in their motherfucking business and up in this case from day one. put a freaking one in the chat if you guys remember. It was Ernie Shell up there giving Don and Candus pure fucking hell and running all over the place with boots on the ground searching. It was Ernie Shell, Billy, not you. Oh, hell no. I know who the hell was up there at the beginning because I was there at the beginning too. And no, Billy, you didn't come along. You was up there fucking mowing the well's grass. And they kicked your ass out of there. They kicked your ass the fuck. Don rolled you off the fucking hill, dude. And like the third year when you showed up. You showed up up there cutting their fucking grass and their weeds and kissing their ass for a New York second till Don gave you the boot. Come on. What the fuck? You expect us to believe this shit? Man, you a liar. You a liar. They ain't nobody mother freaking even knew you until Jinkies was banging your ass, right? Her old man come running over here, putting out all their business, and then she was banging you. Come on. What the hell? Are you kidding me? The only thing that mother freaker was searching for was where the real freaking hole was. Right? Do all those fucking rolls. Come on. That's the only damn thing he was searching for. And from what I heard, he still fucking couldn't find it. Right? That's why they're no longer an item. Because that fucking treasure hunt is over. Right? That fucking treasure hunt ended. Come on. Listen. Willie, go back wherever you came from, man, because we don't put up with liars over here. We don't put up with bullshit. If you guys want to hear the story tonight, put a 1. I'm going to tell you. That wasn't no chimney top, bub. That wasn't no chimney top, man. That was the backside of your old lady. Just because there's smoke coming out, it don't mean it's a chimney top. Right? Sorry, but no. I can't put up with that kind of lying. I cannot put up with that kind of lying right there. Right? I guess Jinkies had smoke coming out the back door and he thought it was a chimney top, you know, as he was trying to climb up on it. Yeah, he said it, not me. He went from one side to the other. Man, that had to be bad. That had to be dusty. Right? But anyhow, I'm gonna play the story, you guys. I'm gonna play the story.
Lizzie Andrew Borden was born on July 19, 1860, in Fall River, Massachusetts, to Sarah and Andrew Borden. Soon thereafter, Sarah died. Andrew remarried 3 years later, to Abby Durfee Gray. The family lived well. Andrew was successful enough in the fields of manufacturing and real estate development to support his wife and 2 daughters, Emma and Lizzie, and employ servants to keep their home in order. Both Emma and Lizzie lived with their father and stepmother into adulthood. The relationship between the Borden sisters and their stepmother, Abby, was not close. They greeted her as Mrs. Borden and worried that Abby's family sought to gain access to their father's money. Emma was protective of her younger sister and, together, the 2 sisters helped to manage the rental properties owned by Andrew. The family attended the Congregationalist Church, an institution in which Lizzie was particularly involved. Tragedy shook the small town of Fall River, Massachusetts, on the morning of August 4, 1892. Between 9 a.m. and 11:10 a.m., Abby and Andrew Borden were the victims of violent axe murders that are thought to have been perpetrated by Andrew's 32-year-old daughter, Lizzie. Her stepmother, Abby, was hit 18 times, and Andrew was hit 11. This event later became the basis for a popular schoolyard rhyme, which goes: Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. And when she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. On the morning of August 4, 1892, Andrew and Abby were murdered and mutilated in their Fall River home. Lizzie alerted the maid, Bridget, to her father's dead body. He had been attacked and killed while sleeping on the sofa. A search of the home led to the discovery of the body of Abby Borden in an upstairs bedroom. Like her husband, Abby was the victim of a brutal hatchet attack. Policemen called to the scene suspected Lizzie immediately, although she was not taken into custody at that time. Her sister was out of town at the time and was never a suspect. During the week between the murders and her arrest, Lizzie was indicted on December 2, 1892. Her widely publicized trial began the following June in New Bedford. Lizzie did not take the stand in her own defense and her inquest testimony was not admitted into evidence. Lizzie Andrew Borden was born on July 19, 1860, in Fall River, Massachusetts, to Sarah Anthony Borden, née Morse. 1823 to 1863, and Andrew Jackson Borden. Her father, who was of English and Welsh descent, grew up in very modest surroundings and struggled financially as a young man. Despite being the descendant of wealthy and influential local residents, Andrew eventually prospered in the manufacture and sale of furniture and caskets, then became a successful property developer. He was a director of several textile mills and owned considerable commercial property. He was also president of the Union Savings Bank and a director of the Durfee Safe Deposit and Trust Co. At the time of his murder, his estate was valued at $300,000, $10,000. 000 in 2024. Despite his wealth, Andrew was known for his frugality. For instance, the Borden residence lacked indoor plumbing even though it was a common feature for the wealthy at that time. The house stood in an affluent area, but the wealthiest residents of Fall River, including Andrew's cousins, generally lived in the more fashionable neighborhood, The Hill, which was farther from the industrial areas of the city. Lizzie and her older sister, Emma Lenora Borden, had a relatively religious upbringing and attended Central Congregational Church. As a young woman, Lizzie was very involved in church activities, including teaching Sunday school to children of recent immigrants to the United States. She was involved in religious organizations, such as the Christian Endeavor Society, for which she served as secretary-treasurer, and contemporary social movements, such as the Women's Christian Temperance Union. She was also a member of the Ladies' Fruit and Flower Mission. 3 years after the death of Lizzie's mother, Andrew married Abby Durfee Gray. Lizzie later stated that she called her stepmother Mrs. Borden and demurred on whether they had a cordial relationship. She believed that Abby had married her father for his wealth. Bridget Sullivan, the Bordens' 25-year-old live-in maid, who had immigrated to the U.S. from Ireland, testified that Lizzie and Emma rarely ate meals with their parents. In May 1892, Andrew killed multiple pigeons in his barn with a hatchet, believing they were attracting local children to hunt them. Lizzie had recently built a roost for the pigeons, and it has been commonly recounted that she was upset over his killing of them, though the veracity of this has been disputed. A family argument in July 1892 prompted both sisters to take extended vacations in New Bedford. After returning to Fall River, a week before the murders, Lizzie chose to stay in a local rooming house for 4 days before returning to the Borden residence. Tension had been growing within the Borden family in the months before the murders, especially over Andrew's gifts of real estate to various branches of Abby's family. After their stepmother's sister received a house, the sisters demanded and received a rental property, the home they had lived in until their mother died, which they purchased from their father for $1. A few weeks before the murders, they sold the property back to their father for $5,000. The night before the murders, John Vinicum Morse, Lizzie and Emma's maternal uncle, visited and was invited to stay for a few days to discuss business matters with Andrew, leading to speculation that their conversation, particularly about property transfer, may have aggravated an already tense situation. For several days before the murders, the entire household had been violently ill. A family friend later speculated that mutton left on the stove to use in meals over several days was the cause. Abby had feared poison, given that Andrew had not been a popular man in Fall River. Thursday, August 4, 1892. Woman lying on floor next to bed. Abby Borden's body, man lying on a sofa. Andrew Borden's body. Morse arrived in the evening of August 3 and slept in the guest room that night. After breakfast the next morning, at which Andrew, Abby, Morse, and Sullivan were present, Andrew and Morse went to the sitting room, where they chatted for nearly an hour. Morse left around 8:48 a.m. to buy a pair of oxen and visit his niece in Fall River, planning to return to the Borden home for lunch at noon. Andrew left for his morning walk sometime after 9 a.m. Although the cleaning of the guest room was one of Lizzie and Emma's regular chores, Abby went upstairs sometime between 9 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. to make the bed. According to the forensic investigation, Abby was facing her killer at the time of the attack. She was first struck on the side of the head with a hatchet, which cut her just above the ear, causing her to turn and fall face down on the floor, creating contusions on her nose and forehead. Her killer then struck her multiple times, delivering 17 more direct hits to the back of her head, killing her. When Andrew returned at around 10:30 a.m., his key failed to open the door, so he knocked. Sullivan went to unlock the door. Finding it jammed, she uttered a curse. She would later testify that she heard Lizzie laughing immediately after this. She did not see Lizzie, but stated that the laughter was coming from the top of the stairs. This was considered significant as Abby was already dead by this time, and her body would have been visible to anyone on the home's second floor. Lizzie later denied being upstairs and testified that her father had asked her where Abby was, to which she replied that a messenger had delivered Abby a summons to visit a sick friend. Sullivan stated that she had then removed Andrew's boots and helped him into his slippers before he lay down on the sofa for a nap, a detail contradicted by the crime scene photos, which show Andrew wearing boots. She testified that she was in her third-floor room, resting from cleaning windows, when just before 11:10 a.m. she heard Lizzie call from downstairs, "Maggie, come quick. Father's dead. Somebody came in and killed him." Andrew was slumped on a couch in the downstairs sitting room, struck 10 or 11 times with a hatchet-like weapon. One of his eyes had been split cleanly in two, suggesting that he had been asleep when attacked. His still bleeding wounds suggested a very recent attack. Dr. Bowen, the family's physician, arrived from his home across the street and pronounced both victims dead. Detectives estimated that Andrew's death had occurred at approximately 11 a.m. Investigation. Lizzie's initial answers to the police officers' questions were at times strange and contradictory. Initially she reported hearing a groan, or a scraping noise or a distress call, before entering the house. 2 hours later she told police she had heard nothing and entered the house not realizing that anything was wrong. When asked where her stepmother was, she recounted Abby receiving a note asking her to visit a sick friend. She also stated that she thought Abby had returned and asked if someone could go upstairs and look for her. Sullivan and a neighbor, Mrs. Churchill, were halfway up the stairs, their eyes level with the floor, when they looked into the guest room and saw Abby lying face down on the floor. Most of the officers who interviewed Lizzie reported that they disliked her attitude. Some said she was too calm and poised. Despite her behavior and changing alibis, she was not checked for blood stains. Police did search her room, but it was a cursory inspection. At the trial they admitted to not doing a proper search because Lizzie was not feeling well. They were subsequently criticized for their lack of diligence. In the basement, police found 2 hatchets, 2 axes, and a hatchet head with a broken handle. The hatchet head was suspected of being the murder weapon as the break in the handle appeared fresh and the ash and dust on the head, unlike that on the other blade tools, appeared to have been deliberately applied to make it look as if it had been in the basement for some time. However, none of these tools were removed from the house because of the mysterious illness that had stricken the household before the murders. The family's milk and the victims' stomachs were tested for poison, none was found. Residents suspected Lizzie of purchasing hydrocyanic acid in a diluted form from the local druggist. Her defense was that she inquired about using the acid to clean her furs, despite the local medical examiner's testimony that it did not have antiseptic properties. Lizzie and Emma's friend, Alice Russell, decided to stay with the sisters the night following the murders while Morse spent the night in the attic guest room. Contrary to later accounts that he slept in the murder site guest room. Police were stationed around the house on the night of August 4, during which an officer said he had seen Lizzie enter the cellar with Russell, carrying a kerosene lamp and a slop pail. He stated he saw both women exit the cellar, after which Lizzie returned alone, though he was unable to see what she was doing. He stated it appeared she was bent over the sink. On August 5, Morse left the Borden residence and was mobbed by hundreds of people. Police had to escort him back to the house. The following day, police conducted a more thorough search of the house, inspecting the sisters' clothing and confiscating the broken-handled hatchet head. That evening a police officer and the mayor visited the house, and Lizzie was informed that she was a suspect in the murders. The next morning, Russell entered the kitchen to find Borden tearing up a dress. She explained that she was planning to put it on the fire because it was covered in paint. It was never determined whether it was the dress she had been wearing on the day of the murders. Lizzie appeared at the inquest hearing on August 8. Her request to have her family attorney present was refused under a state statute providing that an inquest must be held in private. She had been prescribed regular doses of morphine to calm her nerves, and it is possible that her testimony was affected by this. Her behavior was erratic, and she often refused to answer a question even if the answer would be beneficial to her. She often contradicted herself and provided alternating accounts of the morning in question, such as saying she was in the kitchen reading a magazine when her father arrived home, then saying she was in the dining room doing some ironing, and then saying she was coming down the stairs. The district attorney was very aggressive and confrontational. On August 11, Lizzie was served with a warrant of arrest and jailed. The inquest testimony, the basis for the modern debate regarding Lizzie's guilt or innocence, was later ruled inadmissible at her trial in June 1893. Contemporaneous newspaper articles noted that Lizzie possessed a stolid demeanor and bit her lips, flushed, and bent toward Attorney Adams. It was also reported that the testimony provided in the inquest had caused a change of opinion among her friends who have heretofore strongly maintained her innocence. The inquest received significant press attention nationwide, including an extensive 3-page write-up in the Boston Globe. A grand jury began hearing evidence on November 7, and Borden was indicted on December 2. Lizzie's trial took place in New Bedford starting on June 5, 1893. Prosecuting attorneys were Hosea M. Knowlton and future United States Supreme Court Justice William H. Moody. Defending were Andrew V. Jennings, Melvin O. Adams, and former Massachusetts Governor George D. Robinson. 5 days before the trial's commencement, on June 1, another axe murder occurred in Fall River. This time the victim was Bertha Manchester, who was found hacked to death in her kitchen. The similarities between the Manchester and Borden murders were striking and noted by jurors. José Correa de Mello, a Portuguese immigrant, was later convicted of Manchester's murder in 1894, and was determined not to have been in the vicinity of Fall River at the time of the Borden murders. A prominent point of discussion in the trial, and press coverage of it, was the hatchet head found in the basement, which was not convincingly demonstrated by the prosecution to be the murder weapon. Prosecutors argued that the killer had removed the handle because it would have been covered in blood. One officer testified that a hatchet handle was found near the hatchet head, but another officer contradicted this. Though no bloody clothing was found at the scene, Russell testified that on August 8, 1892, she had witnessed Lizzie burn a dress in the kitchen stove, saying it had been ruined when she brushed against wet paint. During the course of the trial, the defense never attempted to challenge this statement. The trial jury that acquitted Borden, 1,893. Lizzie's presence at the home was also a point of dispute during the trial. According to testimony, Sullivan entered the second floor at around 10:58 a.m. and left Lizzie and her father downstairs. Lizzie told several people that at this time, she went into the barn and was not in the house for 20 minutes or possibly a half an hour. Hyman Lubinsky testified for the defense that he saw Lizzie leaving the barn at 11:03 a.m. and Charles Gardner confirmed the time. At 11:10 a.m., Lizzie called Sullivan downstairs, told her Andrew had been murdered and ordered her not to enter the room. Instead, Lizzie sent her to get a doctor. Both victims' heads had been removed during autopsy, and the skulls were admitted as evidence during the trial and presented on June 5, 1893. Upon seeing them in the courtroom, Lizzie fainted. Evidence was excluded that she had sought to purchase prussic acid, purportedly for cleaning a sealskin cloak, from the local druggist on the day before the murders. The judge ruled that the incident was too remote in time to have any connection. The presiding Associate Justice, Justin Dewey, who had been appointed by Robinson when he was governor, delivered a lengthy summary that supported the defense as his charge to the jury before it was sent to deliberate on June 20, 1893. After an hour and a half of deliberation, the jury acquitted Lizzie Borden of the murders. Upon exiting the courthouse, she told reporters she was the happiest woman in the world. Lizzie Borden, although acquitted at trial, Lizzie remained the prime suspect in her father's and stepmother's murders. Writer Victoria Lincoln proposed in 1967 that she might have committed the murders while in a fugue state. Another prominent suggestion was that she was physically and sexually abused by her father, which drove her to kill him. There is little evidence to support this, but incest is not a topic that would have been discussed at the time. And the methods for collecting physical evidence would have been quite different in 1892. This belief was intimated in local papers at the time of the murders, and was revisited by scholar Marcia Carlisle in a 1992 essay. Mystery author Evan Hunter, better known as Ed McBain, in his 1984 novel Lizzie, suggested that Lizzie committed the murders after being caught in a tryst with Sullivan. McBain elaborated on his speculation in a 1999 interview, speculating that Abby had caught the two together and had reacted with horror and disgust, and that Lizzie had killed Abby with a candlestick. She made a confession to Andrew when he returned home but killed him in a rage with a hatchet when he reacted exactly as Abby had. He further speculated that Sullivan disposed of the hatchet somewhere afterwards. In her later years, Lizzie was rumored to be a lesbian, but there was no such speculation about Sullivan, who later married a man she met while working as a maid in Butte, Montana. Sullivan died in Butte in 1948. Allegedly, she gave a deathbed confession to her sister in which she stated that she had changed her testimony on the stand to protect Lizzie. John Morse. Another significant suspect is John Morse, Lizzie's maternal uncle, who rarely met with the family after his sister died but had slept in the house the night before the murders. According to law enforcement, he had provided an absurdly perfect and over-detailed alibi for the death of Abby Borden. Morse was considered a suspect by police for a period. William Borden. A man named William Borden, suspected to be Andrew's illegitimate son, was noted as a possible suspect by author Arnold Brown, who surmised that William had tried and failed to extort money from his alleged father. Author Leonard Rabello, after extensive research on William, proved he was not Andrew's son. Emma Borden. Although Emma had an alibi at Fairhaven, about 15 miles from Fall River, crime writer Frank Spearing proposed in his 1984 book Lizzie that she might have secretly visited the residence to kill her parents before returning to Fairhaven in time to receive the telegram informing her of the murders. After the trial, the Borden sisters moved into a large, modern house in the Hill neighborhood in Fall River. Around this time, Lizzie began using the name Lisbeth A. Borden. At their new house, which Lisbeth dubbed Maplecroft, they had a staff that included live-in maids, a housekeeper, and a coachman. Because Abby was ruled to have died before Andrew, her estate went first to Andrew and then, at his death, passed to his daughters as part of his estate. A considerable settlement, however, was paid to settle claims by Abby's family. Despite the acquittal, Lizzie was ostracized by Fall River society. Her name was again brought into the public eye when she was accused of shoplifting in Providence, Rhode Island, in 1897. In 1905, shortly after an argument over a party that Lisbeth had given for actress Nance O'Neill, Emma moved out of the house and never saw her sister again. Death. Lizzie was ill in her last year following the removal of her gallbladder. She died of pneumonia on June 1, 1927, in Fall River at age 66. Funeral details were not published and few attended. 9 days later, Emma died from chronic nephritis in a nursing home in Newmarket, New Hampshire. Having moved to this location in 1923 both for health reasons and to avoid renewed attention following the publication of another book about the murders. The Borden sisters, neither of whom had ever married, were buried side by side in the family plot in Oak Grove Cemetery. At the time of her death, Borden was worth over $250,000. She owned a house on the corner of French Street and Belmont Street, several office buildings, shares in several utilities, 2 cars, and a large amount of jewelry. She left $30,000 to the Fall River Animal Rescue League and $500 in trust for perpetual care of her father's grave. Her closest friend and a cousin each received $6,000, $146. 000 today, substantial sums at the time of the estate's distribution in 1927, and numerous friends and family members each received between $1,000 and $5,000, $121. 000 in 2024, but despite the accusations, Lizzie Borden was acquitted of the crimes. Lizzie Andrew Borden was born on July 19, 1860, in Fall River, Massachusetts, to Sarah and Andrew Borden. Soon thereafter, Sarah died. Andrew remarried 3 years later, to Abby Durfee Gray. The family lived well. Andrew was successful enough in the fields of manufacturing and real estate development to support his wife and 2 daughters, Emma and Lizzie, and employ servants to keep their home in order.
Okay, it started to play over again. Anyway, that was a crazy case, right? Who knows who went in there? Who knows who did what? Lizzie, of course the police are going to be on Lizzie because Lizzie was there. Now, I don't know. A lot of people say that she didn't take the dress off that she was originally wearing. People are saying that she put another dress over top of it. That's how, because, law enforcement ain't going to ask at that particular time. Law enforcement isn't going to ask a woman to start pulling up her, her dresses or whatever. It was, they didn't even show their ankles back then, right? So a lot of people thought she had, a blood-stained dress underneath the dress. I don't think so. I really don't think so, because if you got, her dad and mom was pretty brutally done. And if, she was wearing a dress underneath the dress with that kind of stains on it, it would come through the other dress she's wearing. So, she'd had to put on a couple of dresses, right, to keep it from coming through. So, I don't think that's going to happen. We know, we all know how blood seeps through things, right? So I don't think she had on a dress under the dress. I don't know why she burned them. She could have had one hidden. She could have had it hidden under her mattress, or she could have had it hidden somewhere, and then pulled it out and burned it. They might not have, not have looked everywhere. There could have been somewhere they did not look. So I don't know. I have no idea. Her uncle was pretty suspicious too. He had been there, and and they also said that her sister said she was sick that day, and where her sister was visiting, it wouldn't have been, it would have been hard for her to go there and go back before, and not be missed. So nobody really knows what happened in this particular case. They know Lizzie was the one that got, convicted and, for everything and then got turned loose. That's all we do know. But there was something definitely went wrong between the two sisters, and where the one sister separated and they didn't really have anything to do with one another for many, many, many years after that. But this is the Borden house here. That's a picture of Lizzie. This is the house at the time that all of this went down. This is the house, this is the bedroom. As you can see, when you come up the staircase, the railing out there in the hallway, as you can see, that's what they look through to see the stepmom laying beside the bed. You could look, as you come up the stairs and look through that railing, that's how they seen her, laying on the other side of this bed. This was the guest room. This is the actual room the dad had ended up unalived in. There's the cook stove. This is the cook stove she supposedly, put the dress into and burned. There it is. That's supposedly the original cook stove. Now this is the back staircase. This is a back staircase, and the weird thing is about this house is the guest room. You had to come up this staircase right here to go to the guest room and to Lizzie's room and to her sister's room. But the other staircase led up to, the other staircase would lead up to the mom and dad's room and the maid's quarter. This particular staircase, when you came up it, this was Andrew's, the dad's bedroom, and this also led to the maid's room as well, which was really weird. This was Andrew's and his wife's bedroom, and that's the maid's quarters over there with the red bedspread. That's the maid's quarter right there. Which I found awful weird that they would have the maid that close to them. And this is the bedrooms, the one right before this, that's Lizzie's and her sister's room here. They were on the same floor as the guest room. This is a bathroom they put in later. This wasn't there when all of this happened. This bathroom was put in later when they started making it a bed and breakfast. That's Lizzie Borden. Whoa. She freaky looking, right? And this is the house that she bought. She called Maple Cliff, and she always wanted this statured, but her dad wouldn't buy a house like this. He could, but he wouldn't. So she always wanted to live up on the hill with all the society. But by the time she got up there, by by the time she got up on the hill, her reputation was gone, right? Nobody really, they were scared of her. People were scared of her. And nobody really wanted to socialize with her. So, you know, she was actually more accepted in the social world before before what happened than she was afterwards. Um, I wonder if she ever realized that all of this wasn't worth what happened. Um, put a one in the chat if you think she ever realized that put a one in the chat if you think she realized she had a better life, a more social life, before what happened than afterwards. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it is creepy. It is creepy. And they say that her sister, that she confessed to her sister, is why her sister ran off. And this is a picture of her stepmom and Lizzie. This is her stepmother and Lizzie when Lizzie was just a little child. And the stepmother didn't seem to be too bad. I mean, she's taking a picture with Lizzie, and you know, but for some reason, they sometimes people need someone to hate. This is a picture of Lizzie also when she was very small. That is that's Lizzie, the dad, and the other sister. That's the two daughters and the dad. Oh no, that's his wife. That was his wife. This is the two sisters. That's Lizzie and her sister here. That was the wife. That's Mr. Borden and Mrs. Borden with Lizzie. Whoa. That Lizzie almost looked like her stepmother, didn't she? If I seen Lizzie Borden and I saw her stepmother, I wouldn't know it was her stepmom. I would just assume that was her real mother. She looks so much like her, right? These are pictures throughout time of Lizzie when she's a little girl as she aged, she progressed in age. This is her high society. This is what Lizzie Borden always dreamed of, was to be able to hang out with all the other, big society and so forth and so on. I mean, I don't think I would have cared for all of that, but I guess some people do. Society don't make you, right? It don't make you or break you. There she is. I hate to say it, but boy, those are some homely women, right? High society has some homely looking women. Look at them. I mean, like there's a couple of them that's kind of pretty, but most of them are like, whoa. I don't know. This is the newspaper clippings. Look at this. More family secrets. This is Lizzie Borden in old age. This is a picture of her at Maple Cliff in older age. That's her, I guess that's her pet dog. But this is her, this is her closer to meeting her maker. And like all people, she had, she met her maker, right? Like all humans, they got to meet their maker at some point. And Lizzie and her sister, and they met their maker. There it is, Lizzie and Emma. Andrew, his first wife, I guess, he had 2 wives, and then there's some other people, Abraham's wives, and 2 daughters. So there's the Borden family cemetery right there where they're all at. But what a weird story, right? Yeah, I seen you guys talking in the chat about the movie, the Lizzie Borden movie, and they have like different ones. They have a one that's like a segment of Lizzie Borden. Has anybody seen that? Put a one in the chat if you've seen the one that's like um different episodes of Lizzie Borden. They had that come out not too, a few years ago. And then they have the original movie that came out a long time ago. I think the original movie's the best one. With Elizabeth Montgomery. Yeah, I think that's the best one. And then they had a remake. And then they have like a series. It's like a series of Lizzie Borden. You guys ain't seen the series one of it? Oh my goodness, it is freaky. Yeah, I've seen it. It is really freaky. I love going ghost hunting. I'm going to tell you something. I don't go ghost hunting. It seems like ghosts come hunting on me, right? That is really freaking weird. That is freaking weird. Oh yeah, the paranormal files. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, they got some really, really weird stories. I hear like the Lizzie Borden's house, the one that the parents were unalived in. I hear that it actually is haunted, right? I heard it is haunted. That's a freaky thing. Hey, I'm bringing you up, girl. If you want close camera, you can.
Closed out.
What's up, girl?
Hi, Mama PG. Sorry I missed you.
Hey, girl,
Can you hear
how's
me?
how's your husband? How's your husband
He's
doing?
doing. He's doing a little bit better. He is. They upgraded him on foods. They did.
Oh,
So
thank
now he
goodness.
can eat a little bit of salmon, like small pieces. It still has to be about 6 ounces.
Right?
Other than that, doing a lot better. He is.
Did they get everything straightened out? I mean,
Yeah. Still having to get sick every time he eats.
is he
It's got to
home?
always be like that. Yeah, always be like that. Now the rest of his life.
Did something go wrong during everything that's causing this?
When he busted his stomach before I even met him, he was lifting a big iron stove and busted his stomach through his belly button, and then they had to staple it off the size of a styrofoam coffee cup.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so now it's like much smaller.
Right.
Other than that, he's doing good though.
Oh
Thank
well,
you for asking.
is he able to get up and move around at all?
Oh yeah, yep. He's been out working a little bit. He has not much, but he has.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he had to go to the farm the other day and cut some trees down, but he had people helping him too. So thank God.
Right. And hopefully, I mean, with him having this with him having this condition, he'll just have to eat more often. To
Yes.
stay healthy, he'll just have to eat, small amounts, but more often.
Yes. I
Like
have to show
maybe
you how big
every
his stomach is. I'll send you a picture. It's the size of I call it like one of them little cups you give medicine to kids with.
right,
That's how he eats. And then he drinks his protein, then his vitamins.
right. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, God be with him. God be with him.
God wants him here for a reason.
Hey, girl, I'm going to keep praying. I'm going to keep praying. I pray for everybody. I pray for
Yes,
everybody. I
you do.
do.
That's
Um,
what it's me.
you know, I was watching. I was watching this guy. He goes around and um actually pays for people's groceries. But the way
Mm-hmm.
he does it is just funny because I don't know if you guys seen him on TikTok or not, but he's on there
Yes.
and he walks up and he's like, "I'm rich, you know. I've been poor, but I'm rich." And you know, he's the way he. I mean, he asks him, "Do you mind if I pay for your groceries?" And then he, says things. You know, I used to be poor,
Yes.
but
Is
I'm
that
not poor.
the colored guy one?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
anyway, he's hilarious. He's like, they tried to put me in jail for baby oil. I said, I took all this baby oil. He said, but it wasn't me. I was cracking up. But
I
anyway,
loved it. Yes.
yeah, and it's like he's paying for these people's groceries, but he could be very pompous, right? And
Yes.
yeah, I'm like, that's exactly why I say no. I don't want, and if somebody offers, no, no thanks.
Right.
Somebody else probably needs it more. Um, but anyway, um, he was like, told this lady, he's gonna pray for her, and he's like, but I have my list keeps getting longer, right? He says, when I
I
pray for
love it. And
you,
then I'm on this show, Yuki. Yeah.
yeah, he said, I'm gonna call you P. And she's like, my name's Paula. I was cracking up. This guy is so silly. But
He is.
I was thinking to myself, it doesn't matter if if you pray for one person or you pray for a million. And,
Yes,
and
you do.
you don't even have to call them by name. God knows who you're talking about. Um,
Right.
anyway, I mean, God knows exactly who's on your mind, right?
Yes,
Even
he
the
does.
Bible says that God don't see humans the way we view one another. God sees the inside, not the outside of us. He doesn't check our outside appearance. He checks our heart, and that's the way God works. But anyway,
Yes.
you know, he really made me laugh when he was like, his list just keeps getting longer. I'm like, dude, you know, he's like, can I shorten? You got a nickname? Maybe I can shorten it. This
Maybe
boy-
he'll run into you.
oh my gosh, he is silly as hell, man. But he is
Yes. They
funny.
say he goes everywhere.
I don't know. I ain't never ran into him. I watch him on TikTok, and I've only seen like a couple of the clips he's done. But I'm gonna tell you, he is funny. And I tell you what was real funny was when he was at the cash register, and he asked the lady that she wanted money back, and this one woman, she says no. He asked the cashier. The cashier says no. She didn't want anything at all. And then he asked us the beggar boy, and the beggar's boy's like, yeah, $50. Give me
I
50
loved it.
bucks. I was rolling. I was like, at least this guy is honest, right?
Right.
He's like, give me that money. It
Did
was
you see where he
cracking
went
me
to the
up.
house and took groceries and they didn't
Oh,
answer the door for a while?
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, you'll have to check him out. It hit his thing and then go to his site. Yeah, he goes to a house, just random house he does. These people didn't answer the door and the ring camera started talking and they're like, "Oh, hang on, I see you now. I see you got groceries. Hang on." And he's like, "Gee whiz, now I gotta praise these people." And I loved it
Yeah,
because he was
he
going to
is.
take them on down the road.
He cracks me up. But
Yes,
it was the prayer thing. It was the prayer thing that actually, I
the
mean, I
prayer.
guess
Yes,
Yeah, I mean, I sometimes I can, I can relate to him where the poor
Right.
thing. But man, he is something. He is just something different. He is definitely
I would
different.
really like to meet him in real life and not want nothing because he acts like he'd be really cool and just laid back how you were.
Yeah, yeah, maybe so. I don't know. I don't know. The way he acts. I don't. I have no idea. He just comes off. He just comes off like these people. The way he comes off is almost as if they're sucking it up to take the favor from him, right?
Right.
And then did you see him ask the one lady? He's like, "Do you got $1?"
Yep.
After
I loved it.
she's like, "What?" Yeah.
Didn't he
I'm
do the
like,
shoes
"Oh,
too?
huh?"
I think he did the
I'd have,
shoes too.
I'd have been pretty worried about that one when he
Mm-hmm.
asked her for the dollar. I would have been,
Oh
I'd
yeah.
have been a little worried with that transaction. With all the shit
Yes.
I know, that one would have bugged me. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I've been short a couple bucks and the person behind me, or the person still gathering up their stuff in front of me is like, "Oh, don't worry," and they put it in, or the cashier might put it in. Or sometimes they
Right.
got that little penny cup, where they take a few cents out.
Yep.
But you
I've been
know,
like that.
oh yeah, everybody falls short now and then in every aspect of life. But
Yes, they do.
falling short, and then I don't know. I don't. If somebody came up and can I pay for this? I think I would decline. I would
Yeah, I
decline,
would.
because I, for one, I wouldn't be shopping if I didn't have the money, and
Right.
and two, I don't know. I just don't. I don't feel right about stuff like that.
That's me. I
You
couldn't. I couldn't
know,
take from nobody. I couldn't.
mm-mm,
I'll give it before I take it.
I couldn't do like that. Um, it would really make me feel weird. I just like taking care of myself. I think it was still like some of my pride or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're gonna lose something. And
Yes.
dignity. I mean, that's kind of embarrassing.
Take away my pride. I think.
Right. And they always say, what goes first before the fall. Right.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you something. It sure is funny as hell when you see somebody fall. Yeah, I'm so
And then we turn around and do it.
I'm gonna
We're
tell you something,
laughing.
girl. I'm so stupid. I think it's funny when I fall.
Right. You're
Right.
like, did I just fall? Nope.
I promise you, I have slid halfway down the freaking staircase and laughing. Like I
Right.
can't believe
Oh,
I don't know what I slipped on. I don't know what happened.
well, I was feeding a deer today. It was so funny because I feed about 30 of them. I'll have to send you pictures and videos of that too so you can share. And today I
Oh,
was recording. I call her Momo. I do. And it was so funny. I was feeding her corn and one of the deer snorted and I jumped and I fell and I literally peed my pants from laughing so hard. Had to come in and
oh
take
wow.
a shower. I'm like, thanks.
You got some pet deers.
Yes. Probably
It's
about 30
hilarious.
of them.
Oh girl, I got a squirrel. I got a pet squirrel. I
Oh,
love this squirrel. I mean, it is so smart. And like if somebody's coming, it'll circle around like the tree and hide until they pass, then it'll come back out. And this
oh.
girl is
I
really
had a
freaking
baby
cute.
bear, a baby cub come down when we first moved
Oh
here, and a
wow, I
mama
ain't got
got
no
killed,
fears.
and I was feeding it, literally feeding it. My husband's like, "Stop doing that." And then here comes
Yeah.
another. It wasn't its mama, but that bear got really used to me. And
Wow.
now it's grown up, but don't have nothing to do with me. It's like, no, I'll have to show you pictures and videos. You'd be like, what in the world?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think I would agree with your husband. Don't do that.
I
Right?
didn't do it no more. Yeah, I only did
Wow.
it twice, and I'm like, I'm done. But it was just a little baby. It'd get up on my lap and sit, let me feed it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I will send
Oh.
you pictures and videos of it in a little bit.
And my mom used to be so clumsy, LOL. We were always laughing at her getting banged up. And she'd be pissed. I'm gonna tell you, my kids, they think it's hilarious. I don't know why, but they think it's hilarious all the time. When I do something stupid.
It's
But
funny until we get hurt. Then it's like, did I just do that and just be embarrassed?
I'm, I'm gonna tell you, that's the sad thing is I don't think I have no embarrassment when it comes to I fall. I just laugh like everybody else does. I for real, I do. I was like, and if it's pouring the rain, I don't stop and hide inside the door. I'm the one out in the parking lot dancing and getting crazy and putting my stuff away. And who cares? I'm not going to melt.
Right,
And splashing, I splash mud puddles and everything else. I don't care. I can't be embarrassed like
right.
that. This life's too short, girl. I ain't got no
It
time
is.
for that. I mean, you
I
got to,
know my neighbor see me today. I'm like, I'm done. After I fell
yeah.
laughing so hard at myself, I'm like, I'm done.
I'm that person,
After that,
I'm that person inside the store with the karaoke machine, thinking I know
singing.
how to sing, right? Giving everybody else a headache.
Right?
That's me.
They don't like that they can go on, is how I see it.
I'll stand on the front of the cart and tell my kids push me. I'm tired of walking. I don't even care. I can get in that damn cart and sit down.
We used to do that when we was little, push each other down the road in them.
My kids are like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, push me." What do you
Do
think
it,
I had
hurry
you
up.
for? I didn't have you just to stand around. I pushed your ass in a cart.
We
Time
had
to
to
return
push them, now
the
they can do
favor,
it to us.
right? I tell them, I hope all your friends are here today.
Right? They'd probably be hiding, Mom, what are you doing to me?
My freaking kids, they find me funny too.
No.
And I tell you what they do when I want to do something really crazy or stupid like that. They will initiate. They will initiate one of the other. It's like they pull straws or something because they always initiate one of them to to be the one doing it so they
Right.
can laugh too. It's like, why me? Why'd you pick me? My kids are something different. PG, we need prayers. Hey, girl.
Oh, prayers I couldn't see the chat. Prayers to you all, whoever you are.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's Vic. Vic says, PG, we need prayers. Hey, girl, you
Oh,
know
Vic,
PG
prayers,
praying for
honey.
y'all. For Ruby right now. Thank you. She says Ruby's needing prayers.
Prayers, Ruby.
I'm going to tell you,
Leave it in God's hands.
Ruby is not feeling well. Hey, girl, we're going to be sending those prayers up. God knows. I'm going to
Yes.
tell you, so many people right now needing prayers, girl. So many people. I think it's God's way. God's way of, bringing his people to him. I think the closer you get to God, if you want God to heal you, you got to, get real close to him. You got to get awful close. I think that's his way
Very.
of bringing people, back to him. Sometimes, sometimes we have to walk through hell to realize how precious heaven is.
Yes, we do.
That's, that's just the truth. But, I do keep, I tell God, I pray for all the people. I pray for all the people because, even my enemies, I don't
Yes,
care.
you have to pray for your
I,
enemies even harder.
yeah, I even pray, I pray for Don and Candace Wells. I pray that they tell
Right.
the truth, right? I pray that they tell the truth for Summer Moon Utah Wells. I pray that they tell the truth for their son's sake. I pray that, you know, so somehow they wake up and understand, all the trauma and turmoil that they've caused in so many people's lives, and and some type of, you know, conscience grows within them, and they feel pity and sorry for all the evil they've done, and and confess that they done it. You know, I do pray. You
Yes.
know,
And praying they will one day. Hopefully, it's just sooner than later. Almost
right?
4 years too long.
I'm gonna tell you, we all, every last one of us, every last one of us, have a heaven to gain and a hell to shun. Every last
Yes,
one
we
of
do.
us are going to end up right there. Every last one of us are going to end up like this. This right here, this is your
That's
rapture.
where we're going to be.
This
Yep.
is your rapture. I mean, there is going to be a rapture come where, the people still here, still breathing, still living. They're going to, be taken up if they're good people. But I'm going to tell you
And
what,
if not, they're going to left for hell.
this right here, if you don't see the rapture, like these people didn't see the rapture, this, this is your judgment day right here. When you end up here, that's your judgment day. This is your rapture. And I'm going to tell you, at that time right there, there's no going back and making things right.
No,
I mean,
ma'am,
what
there's
you've
not.
done, you done. What you've done is finalized. You got, you had a chance. Well, you still have breath in you. You had a chance to make things right. You had a chance to do all the right things. And if you didn't do them, blame no one but yourself, right? Blame no one
Amen.
but yourself. But we all have a heaven to gain, a hell to shun, and we are all. One thing for sure, baby, when you're born, you're going to die. You're going
Yes,
to
you
die.
are.
And and you
Not
don't
only
know
that, world's getting closer.
the problem is you don't know when, you don't know how. I mean, there's people who is
Where?
here today, they're here today, gone tomorrow. So,
Yes.
while you're here today, you better get on the righteous path. While you're here today, you better be doing all you can to get as close to God as you can. Because if tomorrow don't come for you, you want to make sure heaven does. Right?
Amen. Yes. It's like me once in a while when I cuss. I'm like, I'll say a bad word, and I'm like, God, forgive me. Why did I just do it?
I'm gonna
One
tell
thing
you,
I do
girl,
not use. I do not use the GD word. I don't like it. Do not like it.
it's
I hate
gonna,
when people use it.
it's gonna be a sad day. It's gonna be a sad day when you're standing in heaven, seeing your enemies, the bad people, the evil people that was against you and at your back. It's gonna be sad seeing them in hell. But I tell you what
Yes.
would be even sadder. What would be even sadder is you being in hell and seeing them in heaven.
In heaven, yeah.
That would be
Beautiful.
even sadder,
Yes.
right? That's why you don't pack around
Yes.
hate for people. That's why you got enemies. Don't pack around hate for them. Pack around love for them. Pray that
Show them
they
the
change.
love.
Pray that they
Yep.
find God. Pray that they're in heaven with you. Pray that they're there. You know, I don't want to see anybody in hell. I don't even want to
I
see the
don't.
people, I don't want to see anybody that, I don't want to see any, no matter how bad someone's done me. And I've had people do me very, very bad, very bad.
Right.
But you know what? I don't want to see them in hell. I don't want to see them there because that's going to, that's going to bother me. That's going to hurt me. I like to see them in heaven. You know, I hope evil people change. I hope they change. I hope they get on the righteous path. I hope they find God, and I hope they make it to heaven too. You know,
Yes.
it's a beautiful
Even the
place to
ones that
be.
know. Yeah.
Right. I
Even the
mean,
ones that know what happened to Summer. I hope, they come forward and tell before it's too
I
late.
hope so too. I hope so too. You know, I think the way for someone to get, if somebody, if someone, whatever happened to Summer, if the person who done this evil deeds wants it off their back, then they really need to tell where she's at. I think
Yes.
just, I think just letting her be found and be put to rest properly, would be enough to get
Yes, it
forgiveness
would.
upon. And they don't have to get themselves caught. You know, they could call in a tip. They could somehow get a tip in there to the law enforcement. They could send in a tip that would lead law enforcement there. And law enforcement, even if law enforcement finds her, I mean, this far down the road, 4 years down the road, there's not going to be no evidence of anything left at this point.
No.
So,
Just tell where
finding
she's at.
her and having her laid to rest is not a threat to anybody anymore. So I don't know why they just don't do it and let this baby be laid to rest once and for all
Right.
properly, right?
That's
Give
right.
her, at least give her that. Give the little girl that. But,
You hear so many stories, she's in pieces, and you hear, she's been moved.
right,
And it's just
right.
like, let us all find her.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, that's true. Everybody wants to go to heaven. Not today. Nobody wants to die to get there, but that's the only way you're going to get there, right? That's the only way
Right.
you're going to get there. But I'm going to tell you, the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the Lord. The only one that has a right to take anyone's life whatsoever is God Almighty. God's the one that only one has the right. And God only
Right.
takes life. I think the only way God takes life is if the person ain't able to live any longer. Like
Right.
what I'm saying is, if the person's life is so damaged, that they can't, they really wouldn't want to live anyway. I think God takes them. He mercifully takes them. Um,
Right.
when the quality of life ain't going to be good enough anymore. But
Right.
I think as long as a person wants to live, God's going to let them live. That's
Yes,
my.
he will. That's what I was telling somebody the other day. I said, God provides everything here for us. Everything that's on earth, our food, money, everything.
Right.
He's our provider, and he can
Absolutely.
take it in 2.3 seconds.
Right. Yeah. That's the truth. Andy B's in here. Hey Andy, what's up?
Oh, Andy B, tell us the truth where Summer's at.
Andy, I'd like to ask you a question. Um, was Summer wearing anything shiny the day she went missing? Can you answer that? Was Summer wearing anything shiny the day she went missing? Oh, she got knocked off. Andy's in here. He ain't answering. I'm waiting for an answer. I guess he's not going to answer us, y'all. What's the matter, Andy? You don't want to answer the question if she was wearing something shiny or not? Oh, she lost Wi-Fi. Lost Wi-Fi. He says hey, but he doesn't tell me if she's wearing anything shiny or not. Okay. Just a question. All right, you guys, listen. Keep those prayers going up for Summer Moon, Utah Wells. Keep it going up for Summer Moon, Utah Wells. In the name of Jesus. Keep those prayers going up. Keep them going up for Michael Vaughn. Keep them going up for, yeah, he must went to bed. He didn't want to answer my question. Keep them going up for Michael Vaughn. Keep them going up for Sebastian Rogers. Keep them going up for all of these missing children. Quite a few children out there missing. They need to be found. They need to be brought home. They need justice served against the evil beings that do these kind of things to children and not fess up, right? And too coward to fess up to their evilness. You know, if you're that much of a coward, why the hell are you doing these things, right? Why are you doing evil stuff if you're too big of a coward to fess up to what you're doing? I don't understand. You know, I guess that's why the Bible says cowards ain't going to get into heaven, right? It plainly states that. Cowards will not enter the gates of heaven. Absolutely not. And, you know, because people who do evil things like this, you know, and then try to hide it, they're cowards. They're cowards. And you shouldn't do anything. You know, if you're that big of a damn coward, you shouldn't be doing stuff. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. But, you know, they do. They do, right? And that alone, you know, when the Bible says something, it means it. It means it. When it says a coward ain't coming into heaven, they're not coming. When it says a liar ain't coming into heaven, it, you know, a liar ain't going to be there. Actually, it says Satan is the father of all liars. Man, I'd be afraid to lie. I'd be afraid to do that. That would scare me. And thieves, right? A thief. People who covet other people's stuff. People, you know, that want your stuff, jealous of your stuff, envious of you, you know, because of what little you got. That's disgusting. You know, go get their own. They should be, you know, people need to look in the mirrors and see how much they should be counting their blessings. They should be looking at what they do have instead of what they don't, right? They should be thanking God for everything, you know, for all their blessings in this world, and stop hating on others and coveting other people's blessings. You know, that's just a disgusting way to live, you know, but that's the way evil people are. Evil people always need to hate on somebody, you know, something in their life, they just ain't happy with oneself, and they take it out. They rechannel that aggression onto everyone else, you know. Laziness is another thing, you know, someone always wanting something for nothing. They don't want to work for a damn thing. They just, you know, try to screw everybody else out of what they got and do evil to get, you know, to get what they have by destroying other people to get it. There's a special place in hell for people like that as well, right? These people, I'm going to tell you, when they get to hell, they're going to sure wish they lived, you know, a godly life from childhood all the way up. You know, I don't think a few seconds or a few hours or a few months is going to help you very much when it comes to getting in the pearly gate. I think God's going to say, hey, you know, you spend your whole life, you know, doing evil things and doing what you want to do, and then you think you can come to me in the end of everything, you know, when you ain't able to do nothing else. I don't know if you're going to get in heaven on that one. I think, you know, God wants people who, you know, are worshiping him and loving him and trying to do everything righteous, you know, well, when they don't need him as much as when they do. That's what I'm saying, right? So probably be a good ideal to try to be a good person from as long as you can. The more years you got invested with God, the better chance you got of getting into the pearly gate. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna tell you, it ain't. I'm gonna tell you, dying isn't what scares people. It's where their backside's going to end up after they die. That's what scares them. And if that's scaring you, if you're scared of where your soul's going to end up, then you obviously ain't living the right life, right? You obviously ain't living the right life. I mean, I'm not one of those people who count my eggs before they hatch. What I'm saying is, I can't sit here and say, oh yeah, PG's going to be in heaven. I'm going to heaven for sure. I don't know until I get there. I don't know. I hope I do. I don't know. I don't know until I'm there, right? But I'm sure going to do all I can. I'm going to do all I can as righteously as I can to get there. You know, I'm going to be working on it every day to get there. That's all I do know. I'm going to try to be as good as I can to get there. I mean, right now, you know, at this point right here, the only thing I really got on my back is a little bit of cuss words, which, I don't even do that. I don't even do that unless I'm in here. YouTube and dealing with missing children. I think that'd make a preacher cuss, right? I mean, you just get so angry. You wonder how people could be so evil as to hurt, abuse, neglect, destroy a child. And that does bring the cusser out of me. I'm not gonna lie. It does. It shouldn't maybe, but it does. And I think that could pretty much be forgiven. A few cuss words, but I don't come out here and lie. I don't come out here and lie. I don't come out here and I come out here and I fight for pure righteousness. I fight for the true victim. I do everything that I think is righteous in the sight of God for these kids. I tell the truth. I bring the proof to the table, so I'm not a whole lot worried about that. Andy B, I asked a question. Was Summer wearing anything shiny the day she went missing? Was she wearing anything shiny the day she went missing? Can you answer that? Yes or no? It's just a simple yes or no. Don't know what she had on. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah. That's a All right, you guys. Keep those prayers going up for these missing children. Also, I would appreciate if you guys pray for one another. There is so many people needing prayers. So many people. Beautiful Sunflower needing prayers. Keep her in your prayers. Richard needing prayers. Keep him in your prayers. So many. Vic was asking for prayers for Ruby. And Sweet Norway. I haven't seen Norway in a long, long time. I'm very concerned, I would sure appreciate if God let her come into the chat just to update us, let us know she's okay, how her daughter's doing, so let us pray for her. Let us keep the prayers going up for Sweet Norway, who we haven't seen in so long. So many people needing prayers out here. And, let us be the ones praying for them. I'm sure there is, gifts in heaven. The Bible tells us, don't worry about laying up gifts on this earth. Worry about laying them up there. Don't let one hand know what the other one's doing. When you help people, don't talk about it. Just do it. Lay them gifts, as many as you can, up there, because you may have to use all those gifts. Could be your house, and you sure wouldn't want a house with no roof on it, right? Make sure that you get your cabin built. Make sure you get your cabin built, in this life. Make sure you get that cabin built up there in heaven while you're down here. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be working. You're supposed to be working down here, laying all them gifts up there. So pray for one another as well. And, if you got any extra prayer time, say a prayer for me and mine. We can use it right now. We could definitely use as many prayers as we can get. I would appreciate them. I got a lot going on. I can't talk about it, but me and mine can use all the prayers we could get to. So please pray for us. Good night, everybody. God bless. Much, much love.